group issues brutal threat to Trump. Please pray. It sure is frustrating to see the President of the United States, a man who is trying to do his best to represent the interests of Americans, getting threatened, derailed, and sidetracked by the multitude of anti-Trump factions working against him. One of the most anti-Trump individuals in the international political scene is George Soros, a progressive, quote, I would say, philanthropist and billionaire currency speculator, according to Breitbart. Soros is funding a group that aims to create a spy ring within the United States. These underground operatives will have one purpose: stop Trump. Hope Not Hate, HNH, UK-based far-left group, released information on Twitter a couple of days ago urging its followers to follow their new U.S. branch as well as to contribute financially to their cause. They posted a picture of the Charlottesville Torch March on Twitter saying, "You bring your tiki torches, we'll bring our undercover operatives." Hope Not Hate. Look at that. Do they look loving to you? Do they look loving to you? Ironically, they are registered as a charity in the UK despite their political operations within the UK going after right-wing politicians and journalists such as Nigel Farage, Katie Hopkins, and other individuals who disagree with their views. They've been justly criticized in the past. One critic, Dr. Zuhdi Jasser, an American-based Muslim reformer, said they're basically doing the same thing as bin Laden and Baghdadi of ISIS and the Saudi government. Even The Economist criticized the group after it showed a study that demonstrated the group artificially inflated the number of hate speech, quote, incidents on Twitter by as much as 3,000%. It's not surprising to see a progressive group outright fabricating data to support their politics. For them, it's less about seeing the world as it truly is and more about adhering to an ideology, whether the facts support it or not. The group receives direct funding from George Soros and has frequently gone to great lengths to defend the billionaire from criticism. Shockingly, they also receive funding as a non-profit charity directly from the UK government, as Labour Party MP Ruth Smith, who sympathizes with HNH, sits on the board of directors. In a sense, the UK government is literally funding a radical left-wing group to send operatives into the United States. When we consider the type of violence that has already taken place with groups such as Black Lives Matter and Antifa, the inclusion of this new faction will only threaten to destabilize our nation even more, and that's George Soros' goal, mind you. Not surprisingly, this group has close ties with the Southern Poverty Law Center, with both groups regularly citing and referencing each other's material? The poverty law? Are you kidding me? George Soros has made no secret of his desire to topple the Constitution and the government of the United States. Is Soros bankrolling the violent groups attacking our republic? Of course he is. We don't even need to question that. To Soros, destabilization is irrelevant in the long-term pursuit of his progressive ideologies, which includes creating what he calls open societies where all forms of immigration are allowed and borders do not exist. He has already played a significant role in the migration crisis that has encumbered Europe and would have wanted the same for America had his preferred candidate Hillary Clinton not lost the election to Donald Trump. Ever since, he has funded a variety of left-wing causes in an attempt to undermine the president, including groups such as Antifa. The president must take heed of the dangers to the republic as another group of agitators is making their way into this country. Let me tell you something. If they wanted to shut this down, they could shut it down. I'd like to know why they're not shutting this down. This is totally uncalled for. And what are you bringing the people from the UK? I mean, this is crazy. This is literally crazy. Let me